Rangoli is an ancient ephemeral art form practiced throughout Guyana. Designs are drawn onto the ground, usually in chalk or colored powder, and embellished with sand, rice, candles, or flower petals. Rangoli is also known as alpana, aripoma, and kolam, and is often seen as an expression of self-portraiture. In many cases, designs are passed down through generations, with some of them being hundreds of years old. The word Rangoli is said to have been derived from the words Rang and Avali, which refers to a row of colors. Rangoli designs and colors vary between different regions, but they all follow some basic patterns. The patterns often consist of natural elements such as animals and flowers, among others. Diwali is celebrated primarily to herald the coming of the goddess Lakshmi. Prayers are often offered to her, asking for her blessings in the form of wealth. As such, a Rangoli design is created at the entrance of the house, not only to welcome the guests that visit, but also the goddess herself. There is no limit to how big a Rangoli can be. Most Rangolis are the same size as a doormat placed at an entrance. The East Berbice branch of the Guyana Hindu Dharmic Sabha recently held a Rangoli competition. At that event, President of the East Berbice branch, Pandit Deodat Persaud, gave a brief description of what a Rangoli consists of and occasions on which they are made.
Rangoli is an art form that is taken from India, and here in Guyana we are accustomed to using grains, we're accustomed using flowers and various forms of glitter to produce these kinds of designs. These designs are more used at festivals such as Navratri. We see them Krishna Janashtami and Deepavali also. During the holy time, we also see them. But any occasion that augurs in auspiciousness, for example, someone has their little puja at home, you can do that. The wedding, lots of it is being done at wedding. Rangoli, apart from being just an art, it is said it augurs auspiciousness because the symbols itself attracts very positive energies. Most time persons would opt to design using a deity. Perhaps sometimes you choose using peacock feathers, Ganesh. These are all symbols of auspiciousness. So on an occasion like these here, when you have festivals and so forth, you want these kinds of positive vibrations to be created. Hence, we use this. Color itself represents abundance of nature, represents there's so much attributes we can associate with colors. In various states in India, based on my research, we see various mark being associated with Rangoli. For example, you go to Tamil Nadu, that design in that state itself will be different from where perhaps you'll find in Uttar Pradesh. So Rangoli itself is an identity. The minute you look at the design from Chennai, you know that this is a design from Chennai versus a design from Maharashtra or so forth. So it's that is how. But in Guyana, for us, we have not really gone in that. But now we are actually catching up with this designing here. Actually, we're kind of catching up with the whole designing. I know. One of the first places that started the competition in Guyana was the University of Guyana Student Society. The Guyana Hindu Dharmic Sabha, they're making an attempt to promote this kind of art forms around the secondary schools and primary schools across Guyana.
The variety in patterns and the difficulty level for a Rangoli is largely dependent on the talents and skills of the person making the Rangoli. Rangolis are always made by hand, and all designs are carved out using the fingers. A line is usually drawn using a single finger like a pencil. In some cases, a pattern may be outlined using dotted movements, which are joined together at the end. Once a pattern is formed, the desired colors are filled in. A Rangoli during Diwali usually follows a certain theme. The central design or motif is symbolic and represents a deity or the main concept of the theme. The unity of man and nature can be shown by drawing natural elements like birds, snakes, fishes. Another common theme for a Diwali Rangoli is a celestial one, using symbols like the sun and moon as the central motif. A Rangoli design usually has a geometric shape which is supposed to denote the infiniteness of time. The Rangoli is also bordered by a lotus design to represent the goddess Lakshmi. Rangolis are a safe, beautiful, and expressive tool that brings people together to work towards a common creative goal, transcending age, language, and cultural barriers. After the Rangoli is complete, the image is simply allowed to blow away with the wind, serving as a metaphor for the impermanence of life.